You're listening to the best of the Rob, Arnie, and Dawn Show.
Excuse you.
Thank you.
Listener mail was earlier.
Rob, that sounds like an email sent by somebody who wants to talk about burping.
Okay, because you just burped. Excuse you.
I love these. We've got, we get one of these a week.
Excuse you.
What have we've been belching on the air for about 6 months now?
That
Right?
seems like eternity.
All right, this email is from Mary.
Hi, Mary. Excuse you.
I love this so much. Who burps on the show? Is it just Arnie?
No, blame the fat guy.
Or does
Always.
Rob partake in this
Excuse
absurdly annoying, stupid,
It is stupid.
childish activity?
You love it.
Rob's are actually worse than Arnie's.
I understand people burp, but to do it directly and purposely
Excuse you.
into the microphone is plain stupid. Please stop. I will still listen to you.
Of course you will.
But I listen in my office, and I feel like an idiot when the burping happens. I know Rob's a smart guy,
Excuse you.
so I hate that people might think I'm retarded for
No, don't
listening.
use that word.
Let me ask you, do you go to restaurants now waiting for people just to start burping?
You know what I find?
Because we are changing society, my
for
friend.
the worst.
I find that I have a hard time not burping everywhere now because we do it here, and so I'll be
disgusting.
sitting in the doctor's office or I usually catch myself. But the other day I was in the grocery store. I'm walking down the aisle, and I went, "Oh damn!"
See,
Oh yeah.
see, I don't let it bother me.
We have no
Because
filter.
see, here's the problem.
Damn it.
I've never had a problem with it going out the other end. I enjoy that one.
Holiday pile stuff we've been doing earlier this morning. We determined that a guy who dresses up like a reindeer is not less fun than Dawn. Amazingly.
It's creepy.
We have today and tomorrow a lot of holiday party related stuff because the office parties
Yeah,
are
those are the worst.
big this weekend. 41% of employers plan this year to give out end of the year bonuses or gifts, while 76% will hold a party this month, which is up slightly from last year.
Look, we want the gift.
Companies are bringing back the parties.
No.
Although they are not planning on getting you hammered at them.
No, what's the point of that? That's what I always hated. Oh, we're going to throw you guys a
Maybe
Christmas
sharing
party
the holidays
in
with your
appreciation,
coworkers.
but there's no liquor.
Maybe
What kind of party is that?
Maybe people that are different than you, Dawn, can have fun without drinking.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just absurd.
Maybe a 14-year recovering alcoholic, for example.
He doesn't have fun when he goes out.
No, not at all. Never.
Point. Only half, about 50% of all companies will serve alcohol at the
See,
party.
that's the best thing is if you've ever wanted to see a coworker throw up, this is the weekend. If you've ever wondered, man, what does Bill from accounting look like when he pukes? This is your weekend to see it happen.
Office holiday parties, according to Stacy Carroll, a professor at Western Washington University, office holiday parties offer a great opportunity to mingle, socialize, and network with your coworkers. But if you're not careful, they can be a disaster.
Right, they're a great opportunity for you to get fired. That's what office holiday parties are all about.
That's the disaster
Okay, you
part.
know what? And they just word it that way to make us feel good. People want to socialize and mingle with their friends. Not just always with people they work with, because there's that added you work together. And yes, I know some people you work with are your friends, but there's always that group that you're not friends with, and you still have to show up and be nice.
Isn't the holiday office party, though, important for the movers and the shakers and the minglers?
Absolutely.
So in
my
that
God,
sense,
yeah. And especially if
No.
you're able to bring a spouse, because then you could show, I picked really good and schmooze with the boss.
No, the office Christmas party is for your boss to see how you act drunk. That is what it's for, because there's a lot of bosses. If you want to find the most sober person at your office Christmas party, don't look for the recovering alcoholic, because they're sneaking liquor. Okay? Look at your boss. Your boss is stone cold sober. Do you know why? Because he wants to see what you're doing. If you're puking in the planner, you're taking copies, you're boozing.
I'd be like, funny employee I have. Awesome.
that's one of the many reasons, Dawn, you would make a horrendous boss. And more than half of these tips from the etiquette expert, the professor, are all about exactly what Arnie just said. The boss is sober, he's watching you, and overwhelmingly people get drunk, and that's where the stupidity begins at office parties.
And that's why they can't be fun anymore, because you're so afraid of what you're going to say, what you're going to wear, what you're going to do, that you're actually not. When usually a party implies you're going somewhere to let loose and have fun, but the office party, you cannot let loose and have fun.
Dawn, that is not. You make it sound like this is the problem with America, that we can't have fun anymore. I think even if everybody was allowed to drink, the real problem is this new craze over the last 3 decades called binge drinking.
Yeah.
You see, they always had alcohol at office parties back in the good old days, the 50s.
Yeah.
People had 2 martinis, and they did it over the course of 5 hours, and they held their own, and they didn't act stupidly.
But you still have to watch what you're saying. You know,
Sure.
take that out of it.
You have to do that at work. You have to do that
right.
today while you're sober.
So you don't want to do it under the guise of we're inviting you to a party.
Well, don't drink.
Yeah,
If
there
it's
you
going
go.
to cause you to be stupid, then don't drink.
Even if, and that's no, and then you're sober and you're still sitting there going, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Do I look okay for him? Oh, now, and you get, I used to get uncomfortable about this when I've only had a couple other bosses other than Rob. Okay, what? Now we're outside of work. Do I show him how I actually am, or do I hold back? What do I say?
Well, you never held back.
Oh, look at that person. Excuse you. That person over there seems
Like
to have
you.
fishing in common with him. Great. What am I going to think of that I'm going to have
See,
in common
Dawn's just
with him?
using it as a total
Dear
networking tool.
God.
She's not enjoying the whole party of
what
it
it's
all.
there for.
But here's the best part. Let's say that you have one of these parties and you're allowed to bring your spouse. Let's say that you and your spouse decide to have a couple cocktails before you leave.
Oh, boy.
Now, let's say that you're married to a man and you told him about how one of the guys at the office hit on you in June.
Yeah,
He's had this party circled ever since then.
True.
He has known about this party, and the first thing he's going to go is, hey, where is that character Jim? You know, the guy that you said hit on you. And, of course, you're going to be like, oh, I don't see him. And all of a sudden, because this is the way the world works, somebody's going to go in, Jimbo, Dee Jim!
Jim Maroney!
What's up, brother? What chick are you here with tonight?
Phone
And
number.
right there, your boss is going to see your spouse kick his ass.
Phone number is 888-989-9811. Hello, Kiko.
Hey, you know, the problem is these days of these office parties, I've been to a couple of them last year, is that they have them at the site, the work site. And if you supply alcohol at the work site and somebody gets out of hand, we're such a litigious society that you can actually sue the company and then the snowballs from there. So the suggestion that I always make is, hey, if you guys are going to have an office party, go have it at off-site someplace. So everyone wants to do whatever they can. They're kind of on their own time and personal.
Well, that's terrible advice because that's not true. Okay, I mean, you've been to
somebody from the Orient would have better advice.
You've been to a lot of these parties, Kiko. I've organized more than a few dozen of them. I mean, first of all, if it's still a work event, if it's still or even if it's not required attendance, it doesn't matter where you hold it. You can. I mean, look, anyone can be sued, but you're still open to liability if you organize any type of event that is under the work umbrella, whether you hold it at your office or at a restaurant or at somebody's private house. If it's work-related, you're still screwed as a company. Second of all, there's a variety of risk-reward things associated with this. Most office insurance plans cover a moderate amount of alcohol being served, and there's still you're legally covered. Yes, your premiums are still going to go up, but that's why only 58% are serving alcohol anywhere, according to this survey, is because we've become such a litigious society that we will sue the boss, even though we're the ones that drank too much and ran over the baby on the way home.
Kiko, it doesn't matter if your holiday party is at a hotel in one of the buffet or banquet rooms, and it's a free-for-all, drink whatever you want, the food's amazing, and they're even supplying you all hotel rooms.
True.
Everyone dreads going to the office party because you're there with people you work with. You're either intimidated or you don't know what to say, or you're thinking of a million other things you'd rather do than be around people you see every day of the week.
Unless you work at a bar, you should always have the party off-site. Don't hold it
no
at your
kidding.
office.
Oh, wow, look, construction site. Let's have the party here, fellas. But this is the best part. The true payoff for a holiday Christmas party happens in late August, early September, when the office slut gives birth.
We have,
and you start looking at that kid going, who does it look like? And it just so happens it looks just like the boss.
We have a variety of tips, do's and don'ts and such for the office holiday parties. The biggest mistake most people make at work functions is drinking too much. Your best bet is to not drink at work functions. But if you do, limit it to 2 drinks.
Oh, God.
That's a farce.
You're just getting started.
Because when Rob threw parties and he organized parties,
I was the boss.
He was the boss, and Rob had this great plan in place. I think, narcissistically, he had this plan in place for me. Because he would offer an open bar.
Yeah, that was awesome.
For the first hour.
Encouraging binge drinking.
Of the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Knowing that I show up everywhere at least 15 minutes early. Yeah. And Rob taught me a long time ago to tip my bartenders well. So I would go up there, and I would get there 15 minutes before the party. Hey, bartender, how you doing? Yeah, I'm that Arnie. How you doing? All right. Here you go. Here's a 5-spot. Can I get a couple now? Oh, sure. Why not? It got to the point at some of these parties, like when the hour was winding down, I would actually walk up to the bar and ask the guy for 12. And I had been tipping him all night. He'd give me 12, and I'd be walking back to the table with 12 beers put in front of me, and somebody'd reach for one, and I'd look at him and go, those aren't yours.
To Arnie's point, the boss is sober, and you're drunk now.
Yeah.
Avoid being negative at the office party. You don't need the boss overhearing your negativity right before the review.
He sucks, doesn't he? What a terrible boss.
Remember that even if he doesn't overhear you, bad news travels fast. It will be repeated multiple times. Your name attached to it. Like, it might not even be you're bitching about your boss. Maybe you're bitching about the party. You're bitching about the food. Well, your boss picked it out or had something to do with it, and they don't want to hear that Shirley said the meatballs are no good.
Wow, curry for the holidays.
Or you're bitching.
Thanks.
Because you've had a few drinks, you're a little more apt to say that. Or you're bitching about people you work with. And he hears that you're the one that's stewing up trouble at the party by talking about everybody.
Well, and you could work with some slimy-ass people where you're so good and drunk, you don't say a word, but you don't remember anything, and they're going to sell your ass out. Oh, you wouldn't believe what Smith was saying about you.
Hello, Tony.
Hey, Rob, Arnie, and Don. How's it going?
What's up, T?
Hi, what up?
All right, well, totally different situation. We don't really have office parties. I work for a contractor, but when we have our Christmas party, we all just get hammered, our boss included, and it's all kinds of fun.
Do you even get the pun you just made, sir? That at contractor parties, you all get hammered?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Rob, Arnie, and Dawn. The Rob, Arnie, and Dawn Show. This is the best of the Rob, Arnie, and Dawn Show.
I know you don't take them.
Excuse you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll do all of that tomorrow. We're working our way through do's and don'ts, tips for your holiday office party. Watch the alcohol is the big tip, because the biggest mistake most people make is they get drunk and then they do some of these things like they're negative and their boss overhears them or they spread rumors.
They decide to take their pants off at the party.
Here's another one. A lot of people think, Dawn kind of alluded to this, well, okay, you're at the office party. Is it social or is it work or is it both? One of the biggest mistakes people make is they get too comical or loose around the boss, and they might say something to the boss like, you're not as big of a jerk as I thought. And you say it in a funny way.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. It seems hilarious at the time. It won't seem hilarious Monday to your boss who remembers it because he was sober.
See, this is where I can't contribute anything because my only boss really has been Rob. Yeah. And the only Christmas parties that I remember, I don't really remember because we drank so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there are parties that Rob and I, Rob being the boss, where we started throwing rolls at people in the middle of speeches and just out of nowhere, we would boo people at Christmas parties.
It wasn't until I started going to Christmas parties with whatever boyfriend I had at the time at like real workplaces. I'm like, wow, these are pretty stuffy events because I'm like, where's the guys throwing rolls? Yeah. Where are people hammered? Where are people having sex in the bathroom?
Here's the problem is
they were in the bathroom having sex.
Dumbass. See,
you answered that one.
At offices, people get fired when they throw rolls and boo.
It's encouraged
and they do things that maybe are accepted in our line of work. Like, here's another tip. A lot of people, they start to have a few drinks. You're at the office party, you start to talk about who's hot in the room that you work with or spouses. And again, word travels.
There was a gal at one of the Christmas parties I went to with one of the boyfriends I had. There was a gal who walked in, I mean, gorgeous. And she was the wife of one of the husbands. And you could tell the other guys wanted to be like, wow, had no idea. And they all were just kind of looking at the boss, see what the boss would do. And of course, the boss isn't going to be like, babe. But, I'm just thinking, why don't you guys say, wow, she's amazing, beautiful? You can't do that. Oh, my God.
See, we never had that problem, Rob. We had the opposite problem. We worked with some people who had some really ugly wives.
Oh, no, that's so mean. Oh, my God.
I don't know if it ever really got out audibly that loud that we said somebody's wife was really ugly.
What a cow.
Yeah. I think that was one of the remarks. And we were called juveniles for it.
You guys were loud enough to hear.
Okay. That's good to know now.
Don't bring your ugly wife to our event.
No kidding.
That's so
Well, tell her to tamp down the bitchness, too.
Oh, and you know what? That's the other thing that people get uncomfortable with is that they're not sure how their boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband or wife are going to act at the party. And this is who they work with all the time. And that's a whole other level of uncomfortable. I think you're actually glad when you find out no family and no spouses allowed, and it's just people at work.
Well, here's one good rule of thumb. Let's say that your spouse becomes a raging anger ball when they drink. Don't let them drink at the holiday party. You know, too many people, here you go, have a couple cocktails, and all of a sudden that rage comes out. And by the way, as long as the rage isn't directed towards me, I'm all for it. I think it's awesome because it adds some flavor to the holiday Christmas party.
Arnie jokes all the time about people who might hit on the boss's wife. This happens all the time, according to this professor who wrote this article, that people are constantly making the mistake of hitting on the boss's wife, or in the rare case that the woman's a boss, her husband,
Jesus God.
some catty bitch that works for her. It is a problem through, and again, it's because you get drunk and you want to see, hey, could I bed the boss's wife, or you want to get back at him.
Oh boy, that's the way to do it.
And you get drunk, your inhibitions are released, and pretty soon you're taking Mrs. Johnson back to the bathroom.
Right. Well, here's the big problem. You know, you walk over to the table. Make sure if you're going to hit on her that the boss isn't around. Like, if you're a guy and the boss's wife is sitting there with her drink, don't offer to stir her drink with you-know-what.
Because when you get back to the workplace and you've slept with the boss's husband or whatever, or wife, you don't even have to say anything to them. You just smile every time they're around, knowing you had sex with their spouse. Isn't that evil?
You're not going to last very long, because if you did it too for vengeful reasons, you can't keep it to yourself. You're telling Bill in accounting, hey. And now Bill has that.
Bill from accounting was there.
Bill has it over you. They're phone taping
Bill, come here.
Now watch this.
Check this out.
Another thing a lot of people do at office parties is quit. Because they get drunk. They quit.
They put in their 2 weeks notice.
They make this big speech. They're so unhappy.
No.
And then they try to pull the George Costanza. They show up Monday morning.
What? I was drunk.
Oh, what?
That wasn't me.
You took that seriously?
Come on. I was just blowing off some steam.
I didn't mean you're the worst boss ever.
It was opposite day.
Rob, Arnie, and Dawn.
Stop saying dirty stuff for a second, would you?
The Rob, Arnie, and Dawn Show.